unofficial Universal Orlando podcast is a member of the Mice Chat Podcast Network. MicePod.com. Now, discover the universe, one theme park at a time.
Greetings, Universal fans! This episode was made possible by Fairy Godmother Travel and the Producers Club. So let's join the gang as we discover more about the Universal Orlando Resort, as well as Universal Studios Hollywood, Japan, and Singapore.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 122.
You sure?
I wasn't sure. No, I wasn't. This is the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Tonight I am joined by Tracy.
Hello.
Happy birthday for next week. Happy birthday for Monday. If you're listening to this, everyone wish everybody listening. Everyone, I want everyone who's listening now to wish Tracy a big happy birthday.
Yeah, somebody shout it now.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday!
Can't do that link up thing over Skype. It doesn't work because there's a delay.
I feel the love.
Those are the two voices there you're hearing. There is Hunter.
Hello!
And of course, Gregory.
Hey everybody, it's me.
I know Darren because he's still at SeaWorld.
Well,
and I've just given the whole secret away of how we record the show.
He's gone to SeaWorld again.
Again, yes.
There you go.
You got a second free ticket. They're paying people to go there now, aren't they?
Stop.
That's the deal on Groupon.
Yeah, but it might be, actually.
It's the Groupon deal. Free tickets.
You buy one ticket, you'll get in for the rest of your life.
Is it the... Wait for it, I've got a really bad pun. Is that the Grouper on deal?
You're right, that's a really bad pun.
Well,
hey, why did Darren go to SeaWorld? Just for the halibut.
Oh, God, that's even worse. Listeners, send in which joke you thought was the worst out of those two.
Shamoo on you.
Oh, that's even worse. There's 3 there. Take your pick, whichever one was the worst one. Right, Gregory is on the show. We've been planning this for quite a while and finally got round to for him being free. So, as anyone who will know Gregory, he was actually an ex-Universal Orlando team member. And we've invited him on to talk about his experience of being at the parks and how he came to be there and what it was like working there and blah, 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 basically.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, Gregory, let's start off. How did you end up coming to work at Universal?
Craigslist.
Okay.
No, I was leaving the Navy. I was in the Navy for 5 years. I knew I was coming back to Orlando, so I was just looking for jobs in the area. And that's when I came across an ad for work and then replied to it. It was for Color Vision. If you don't know, Color Vision does all the photography for the Universal Parks. So I, replied to it, didn't expect much of it. But that ended up being the job that I took. And so just like that, I had an interview process. Now, being that it was a third party, I didn't go through the Universal hiring process, but I did go through like Universal's initiation. What's the word I'm looking for?
Hazing.
It's not yes, hazing. Orientation. That's the word.
Right. How was that? Like, what sort of stuff did they tell you in that?
It was 2 days. You just kind of go over structure, guest interactions. They played a nice video montage, and everyone went, "Oh!" The second Jaws came on the screen because this was February 2012.
Right. Oh.
So it was very recent that Jaws had gone away. So, and then the second day, you actually do like a scavenger hunt in the parks, which helps you ask the questions, because really it's all about getting you to speak with other team members.
Yeah.
Hey, what is this in this area? And most people wouldn't know it, so you're going to have to go ask the team members in each respective area.
So you worked there for how long? When did you leave? Because it wasn't that long ago, was it?
It was pretty much 2 years, a year and 11 months before I left. I think I left in January of this year.
Because I remember talking to you last year when you were over and you were talking about it back then because you felt like you wanted to experience the parks as a guest again rather than being...
Yeah,
that's definitely part of it. When you're there every day, you do get an appreciation for how things are done and the hard work that goes in and out of every day. But not too many employees are also big fans of the product.
Really? That surprises me.
On the level I was at least, just your frontline team members. This is their job. They go home. They don't come on their days off. They, unless they're bringing family or something. Once they're off work, they're not thinking about what's Universal's next ride or what's any of that. It's just work for them. And so, at that level, it's just like I'd rather be on the fan side. And luckily now I do have a job that allows me to do that.
Do you think that's changed a little bit with the Wizarding World now then?
I do think there's a class of people that, it's their dream to work at in the Wizarding World. But then I think, give them a year or two in that and they're going to be disenchanted with it after a while. It's just hard, grueling work for, it's a little more than minimum wage now, but
yeah, I know, because well, Hunted, when you were on the Disney College program, being that, did you tend to find that you got treated not necessarily worse, but you got the crappy shifts and...
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're kind of there for all the jobs that the standard employees didn't want, or the shifts. Now, truth be told, I love those sorts of shifts. Like, my favorite shift I ever worked at Disney was like 8 at night till 6 in the morning. I love shifts that because like there you got to meet like all the diehard fans and stuff like that. I would much rather do that instead of like 9 to 5 on a regular park day.
The local crowd.
Yeah, I can see like how other people and even myself got burnt out on it because it always felt like, yes, these are people who are just here to say they worked for Disney. They're not enthralled with kind of like what you were mentioning, Gregory. They're not like enthralled with the company and love it to the extent that, you and I do.
Did you find that your opinion changed because you went in obviously as a Universal fan?
Yeah.
Right.
Did that change your opinion on the parks in a bad way or a good way?
Well, you have to look at when I came in. I had left, the Orlando area for 5 years. I think I made a trip down to Orlando once to see the Wizarding World in like 2011. But like I think I came in at the perfect time because like 2012 is when you really saw they realized, okay, we've got something, we can be competitive, and that's we saw Despicable Me, we saw the Cinematic Spectacular, the Superstar Parade, and on and on and on in Springfield, and it was just such an exciting time to work there. So there's a lot to be excited about. So for me, that's helped me like grow my love of Universal.
Yeah, I understand that because we had a slightly different experience when we came over last year because of the team members and people that we know, and different experience that we probably wouldn't have had as average park guests. And I obviously knowing the ins and outs of the parks like I do more from doing the podcast, I was worried that it would taint my experience a little bit.
You talked about that a lot before we went.
That when you come on and you're talking about something every week, all the time, and it's in your consciousness 24 hours a day, I was worried that it wouldn't live up to my expectations, and it far exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I do find sometimes it's hard to get out of the objective, perspective. Like recently, I'd been noticing, it seems like you get in the park, there's a survey, here's a concert, during the concert, here's a survey.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw the pictures you tweeted out of that.
Yeah, and today it was the same way. Like I literally step out of Grinchmas. Here's a survey. Like, can I have a survey about these surveys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take them all and mention us as much as you can.
What do you think of this survey? Is the font of this survey appealing to you as a park guest?
And it's just like, I get it because they are investing so much and quickly that you want to keep having guest input, but it just seems like every step of the way lately I've been seeing it, and it's, maybe not as noticeable to someone who's just doing their day and this is their vacation, but for me it takes me out of it.
I was begging for surveys when we were over there last year, just so I could mention the podcast and stuff, and no one came anywhere near us.
Yeah. Now, Gregory, just curious, do they ever ask, hey, you want to fill out this survey? And then when you mention you're like a local, that they take it away? Because that's what's been happening to me.
That happened a lot when they were doing the TV previews.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, Orlando, we don't need you. Now they're not doing those TV previews anymore.
Which is
the
a
Film
shame.
Vault.
Yes,
the
we
Film
got
Vault's awesome.
Yeah.
we got invited.
Yeah, when we were there last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because they wanted that. I think it was, they couldn't, there was something about it because you could go, or it was I could go and you couldn't, or you couldn't and I couldn't.
Yeah.
But with the surveys, any that I've actually done, it really didn't matter. They were just anyone stopping could take them. Now most days I don't do them, but I do stop occasionally because I've done 4 or 5 over the last year.
Okay.
A lot in City Walk.
Yeah.
Right.
So going back to you being a team member rather than guest surveys, what other, because you said you started off at the Photo Connect booth, which is actually where we met you for the first time. That freaked me out.
Yes, just a little.
What other places have you worked at in the parks?
So when I first started, I got assigned to Jurassic Park, and I was just an associate. So I worked in the in the Photo Connect after you come off the ride.
So you got
just
to
selling
angrily yell at
photos.
people for taking pictures of the pictures, right?
You're supposed to, yeah. You're not supposed to angrily yell at them.
No one cares anymore.
They're big on never saying no.
Disney's cracked down on it, I know.
Really? Because Universal, when we were there last time, Universal tend to they'll put Universal
letters
Studios
on.
across it. Yeah, Disney, we did it in every ride we went on, and
You
no
can take
one,
a photo of it. Yeah.
everybody was there doing it, and no one batted an eyelid.
Yeah. Well, you also have to look at it. Disney now owns all of their own photography, so if they don't make money off their photography business, they can make up for it in other sections of the business.
And now it's
Whereas-
all Fast Pass Plus anyways now, right? For
Yeah.
Magic Bands, yeah.
Yeah, that's some really cool stuff actually. But Color Vision is its own separate company.
Yeah.
So if it's not making money on the photos, there won't be a company.
Yeah.
So you got to look at it in a slightly different way. But yeah, so you want to get people over. So it's a lot more vocal than you would see at like Disney. Because if people aren't seeing their photos, they're not going to buy their photos.
Yeah, it's an awkward one.
Yeah.
But I think with the packages they've got now, I think it especially for people coming over from the UK, it definitely will look at it and go, do you know what? I don't think that's a bad package. The annual package, I can't even speak. The annual pass package. All right, they've raised it up, but I know Darren got it recently, and he paid like $50 for it. I want to say he got it really cheap, and it's just for the whole year.
Yeah.
It's wow.
And then they bring out special stuff for like Horror Nights and for Mardi Gras and all these other things. And, you get that to keep. And then I think the prints are like $2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, cool. I'll get a print of that for $2 while I'm here.
So where else
Give
did you
that
work?
for $1?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't want to stay, at the base level. So I expressed my interest in becoming an assistant manager, and it wasn't long. It was like less than a month. I was assistant manager at Mummy.
Wow. Again, at the Photo Connect place.
Yeah, this is all staying in Photo Connect.
Okay.
I went from Mummy to open the new Spider-Man store. So I was working because they had that under the front gates while they were still getting the new Spider-Man store ready. So I worked the front gate in Spider-Man at Islands of Adventure.
Cool.
And then I opened the much lamented Spider-Man Q photo.
See, I like
no.
that. I like it.
Well, people tend to think that you being in there will hold them up in some way, just because they are not moving forward an inch, and instead you're telling them to take a photo
Yeah.
or not take a photo. It's really their decision. But that ride and rides after it don't have the ability to really have an on-ride photo that would be sellable. I mean,
Right.
you could take a photo, but everyone's wearing glasses. They're looking all weird because there's screens everywhere. So this gives an opportunity to have a themed photo opportunity that you're prepared for. That's really unique, and I think is really cool.
But then talking about that on-ride photo, the perfect opportunity for it in the ride at the end when Spider-Man...
It's written in.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot, that why there isn't one there. Surely you could...
I gotta think when they were writing it that they thought, well, of course it's a ride, we'll have one, and then practically it just doesn't work.
Surely you could do it kind of like the inline photo is. You have a green screen in the background, and you can put any background in it you want at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should do it still. We've commented on it so many times. Just like, it's there. You're going to be pausing for it because he drops down with a camera. It's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know how many people would buy it with big 3D glasses on, and if there's flash, then those glasses are going to have glare, and
Yeah, there is that.
yeah,
I'm sure
glare
they
on
could get
everyone's
around it.
face. Yeah, I mean, if they really wanted to.
So where
But-
else?
After that, I moved to Transformers. We opened a brand new Transformers store. So you got to work with entertainment just like you did with Spider-Man, because there was two sides of Spidey. There was, the inline photo, but there was also, Spidey comes in and takes photos at his hot set.
Mm.
So we did both of those. And then I moved over to Transformers. So you got to work with the still performers there. I'm sorry. It's ruined the magic.
Sorry, what did you say? I'll cut that out. Still walkers? No.
Oh, you can't
thought
find
they were
that out
just
on
tall
job
people.
postings.
Shh.
So no, that was a ton of fun and a new environment and outside, very outside. I did also fill in at a lot of places. Like I've worked at Men in Black, and I've worked at the SpongeBob hot set, and I've worked at Forbidden Journey. But those might have only been a day or two.
Right.
But you get those fun little breaks, and you get to try to do theming on the spot.
So, because obviously you weren't a Universal team member technically, did you still get the same perks and benefits that a Universal team member would do? You were still classed as a team member.
Yes and no. Like Universal team members get comps. So like they'll have tickets that are allotted on a certain time schedule. Whereas we would only usually get like one for Christmas,
Right.
and then maybe one other time. But then a lot of times we were treated pretty much the same. I mean, we'd still get like free meals on your birthday. Like if they were giving out stuff for the holidays, like they always gave out a whole frozen turkey
Okay.
every
Wow.
Thanksgiving. So, we were included in most of that stuff. So, just on a few levels, the first party people got different things, but for the most part, just the same stuff.
Cool.
So go on then, Gregory. Walk us through an average day of working at Universal.
I would park at Gate 2, which is behind like Beetlejuice. There's the new parking garage there for the team members. It wasn't there when I was there. It's greatly needed because a lot of times during the busier months, we would end up having to park at it's like down the road where they're building the water park.
Oh, that's that 53-acre plot of land that no one's saying anything about.
Yeah.
That's a water park?
Well, it's a dirt park now, but yeah, so we would park there. They called it the Hollywood lot, which is really misleading. And then you would shuttle over. So if it was like really busy spring break or, Hell Week or Christmas, like those times, especially, you would have to park there. And then you'd go. I usually took my wardrobe home, so I didn't have to stop and get changed or anything like that. But if you were working in the Wizarding World or you decided that you needed to get new wardrobe every day instead of washing it at home, you could change in wardrobe and then go to work.
Okay.
So for me, for the majority of my time, I was a manager, so I was usually opening the stores, so ordering sales stuff, opening registers, counting money, setting up cameras, that kind of stuff. But once the day actually started, it's a very short interaction with guests, and very repeatable throughout the day. So you'd get to know your area. Like Transformers, you'd kind of know the basic Autobots, the basic Decepticons, and when you got those opportunities to kind of bring in theming, you would. I remember one time in particular, there's a Decepticon. He's in the ride, but they don't mention him by name. Called Grinder.
Yeah,
he's a helicopter.
Blackout, or not Blackout. Blackout Resurrected.
But so I was like telling this kid, they have the Autobots have to leave because there's Decepticons in the area. And I mentioned sometimes if you listen really carefully, you'll hear a helicopter, and that's Grinder. And then like within 2 seconds, a legit helicopter flew by, and I was just like, yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Theming win.
Yeah.
Just play your cards and hope they fall.
I mean, we actually got a spew story in a few weeks back from the Salts, and their kid had an interaction with the guy on the Transformers Photo Connect, and he said it was absolutely awesome.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and in the end, he actually went over and told the family that the camera was broken, and that he was going to try and fix it. And while he was trying to fix it, he told Bumblebee to like entertain the kid, and he had a dance off with Bumblebee, and he said his kid hasn't stopped talking about it since.
That's awesome.
It is.
That choked me
those are the
up.
moments that you remember for the rest of your life. Even us, like when I read the email, I was just like, "Oh my god, that is amazing."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of that is relationships, building those relationships across departments, because he knows the escorts, and he probably knows the actor that is playing Bumblebee, so that you can. Okay, this guy loves to do these dance moves, and I can use that.
I think we should have put a spoiler warning in this show.
Maybe.
They are honestly.
Bumblebee's a character.
There's a man.
Not too late. Not. You want behind the scenes or not?
Yeah. I mean, how much leniency were you given as far as what you could provide for the guest experience? Like, I know, like Disney, they have like guest recovery. If you saw a family that's having a bad day and they came to the Photo Connect to have that meet and greet,
Well, as a manager, like I can talk to the escorts and say, hey, these guys, can we bring them in the back so they don't have to wait? I can give them photos. I mean, a lot of things that you can do depending on what's appropriate. Sometimes it's as simple as, saying, hey, do you guys want to ride Transformers? And Transformers is sitting at a 45-minute wait, and I can just get you on. It really depends on the situation and what can make that guest's experience go from bad to good as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. It's easy. Oh, you spilled your popcorn? Let's go. I know the popcorn guy. That is an official guest recovery. Any employee can do it and just be like, hey, can we get these guys a popcorn? They drop theirs, and it's done.
And it's little things like that do make a difference.
It does make a difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on the specifics, but I do know a lot of the merchandise people have things where they can write off merchandise for free. Something happened to their clothes or something. They can get shoes, they can get shorts, shirts.
Yeah.
It all.
One of my friends and listener, Craig Lucas, went to Halloween Horror Nights last year, and he actually ripped his shorts on the way in. And he wasn't asking, he was just asking the team member on the gate where he could get some shorts from, and the guy went away and came back with a $40 gift voucher for him for City Walk.
Yeah.
And he was blown away by it.
Yeah.
But it is sometimes the daft. It doesn't need to be something major to change your day. I mean, it's stupid. Like we got, because of Tracy's tattoo when we were there last time, we got a backstage private meet and greet with the Zeus characters, and it was awesome, and it costs them nothing.
And absolutely, it made my holiday.
But then off the back of that, we ended up getting the Beetlejuice meet and greets as well, and then we got...
we made a friend with Rusty.
Express pass on to Transformers and that, and it's just...
That was awesome.
I'm not saying that people should go out looking for things.
Don't go out and get tattooed just in case you might get something.
But we've said it. Hunt, how many times have we said it on this show before? Interact with team members.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Interact, and if you're interact, we'll get you back, I promise.
Yeah. Some of the funnest times ever, I've been like, hey, I'm just going to go ride Transformers because they want me to. And we could do that, when you make that connection, sometimes the kid is like, hey, I really want to ride this and I want you to be there.
That's
I've done that plenty of times.
Awesome.
Yeah. Especially on rides with on-rides photos. And you get to keep that. So
awesome. Right. Well, we're about halfway through, so we're going to take a quick break. And then we actually asked our Producers Club members to submit some questions for Greg, and I'm quite interested to see what answers we get to some of these. So we'll be back in a moment.
Diagon Alley is open at Universal Studios Florida, and we know all you witches and wizards can't wait to visit. So let our friends at Fairy Godmother Travel deal with the muggles in resort reservations. They are Universal Parks and Resort specialists, as well as an authorised Disney vacation planner, and their service is free to you. From the new Cabana Bay Hotel to those other hotels run by a mouse, Fairy Godmother Travel can book all your Orlando area vacation needs. And make sure to let them know you heard about them because of the UUOP, because every UUOP referral helps us continue to bring you the best Universal coverage. Contact them today by phone on 832-284-4002 or toll free 888-939-642539 or go to fairygodmothertravel.com. Let Fairy Godmother Travel make your next vacation magical.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Welcome back, everyone. Unlike Hunter last week, I am not going to apologise for the fact that you are listening to the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast currently.
Yeah.
So as I said before the break, we asked the Producers Club members to submit some questions to ask Gregory. And Tracy, would you like to fire away with the first one?
This is from Chris Ruck. In the 2 years working at Universal Orlando Resort, Gregory must have had countless guest interactions, but which was his favourite and why?
No, I had to think about this one for a while, but one really jumped out at me. And and it was working at Transformers. We had these two brothers. I want to say they were twins, and they were, I don't know, about 10, 11 years old, and they were blind. So everybody, we brought them in like we often do with people that we can kind of spot that might need that extra hand to get into the line. And the great escort team made sure that they knew exactly when each person was coming out, because they do about 20-minute sets and they might not want to hang around. So they would come each for each person, and we brought them in, and because we're a photo op, and you think like, oh, what are we going to just take a picture of these guys? That's not really fulfilling for these children.
Yeah.
So they allowed them to get closer than they let anyone, and they were allowed to feel each Transformer, and we got these awesome photos of Bumblebee and Megatron especially, where they were just showing them, hey, this is his leg, hey, this is his claw, and it's one of those moments that makes you tear up, so that was definitely my favorite.
Wow. Yeah. You don't think about, or necessarily, because it's not something we have to deal with, but thinking about people with like disabilities and stuff, and especially like being blind, what a sort of experience you have in a theme park, and to do something that special that they can still have that experience.
That's good
awesome.
to know that if there is anybody out there who has a blind member of their family, that you can still, that member can still have a great experience.
Yeah.
That's blown me away.
Yeah, it was one of those moments that kind of sucked all the sound out of the room, even though we were outside, and everyone is just like taking this moment, and even people that were just standing there. That was one time when nobody was like, hey, can we get our kid up there? Like, nobody was, everyone was in the moment. It was fantastic.
Awesome. That is cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. So the next one is from Steve Payne. During your time at the parks, what would you say you would have been the best, worst, and most bizarre days you have experienced while on duty?
I'd say the best days are just days when, everything goes right. There's so many days when your equipment's not working, and when, you get into a groove and you get all these things, but you can only deal with your side of it. If the computer's not working, that always stinks. The worst days, Halloween Horror Nights.
Really?
Yeah, well, no, I take that back. The worst days it's like Rock the Universe.
I know, man. We had what was it?
Yeah,
Night of Joy.
Yeah,
those are like the rudest people you will ever work with.
Really?
Wow.
I'm completely
it's so
serious.
Odd. It's not what you would think, and just some of the meanest people.
Yeah.
I'm not getting into that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you talk to like anybody who works at Universal or Disney and they've worked one of those events, it is a common consensus.
Wow.
Yeah, between that and Gradventure, which is the middle school graduation, which is pointless. Like, congratulations, you made it to high school.
Past 8th grade, yeah.
Don't make a fool of yourself without supervision. So
That sounds all right.
yeah, and the most
That's us on
bizarre
the show every
days.
week.
Yeah.
The most bizarre days, it's got to be like when there would be like a tropical storm and you would still have to go to work, and people would make the trek out and still go to Universal, and especially like Islands of Adventure. Like, you're like, why are you here? It's pouring down rain from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and everything's closed. There's no entertainment options. Like, why are you here? Why did you waste an admission to this? Because there's no rain checks. This isn't Fun Spot where like you just come back.
It is what it is.
like, why are you here?
Crazy.
And you're watching people just like try to walk through the park and like they have umbrellas that are just flying everywhere.
Well, the next one's from Chris Rook again.
Okay.
And he says, Gregory, what is the thing that you miss most about no longer working at the parks?
So I'm still in the area, so nothing about the parks in particular are gonna, be things that I miss. I don't miss the backstage food or anything like that. But like you, just like anything, you miss the people. Like I mentioned, a lot of people aren't fans, but there are people that are, and there are people that genuinely love what they do because obviously they're not doing it because it makes them a lot of money. So just the people that you would see day in and day out, and I'd still see some of them walking through the park. And like today, I saw one of my Marvel Entertainment friends, and she came up to me and gave me a hug because we hadn't seen each other in like 4 months. So you just miss those opportunities to see the people who really enjoy it.
Yeah.
This one's from Kerry Hill. What has been the strangest on-ride photo you have seen? And has anyone ever tried something resulting in them being kicked out of the park? Oh.
Yes, I'm intrigued by this one. I hope there's a good answer.
I had to tread lightly on this one. So being behind the counter, you can see every photo everywhere at every ride, every photographer. People obviously try to do strange things. They're asleep. They're spelling out YOLO with their life. Or it's funny. Usually they spell it backwards because they don't think about how the camera is in relation to them. But I've seen some really cool stuff. Like people bring props. Like I've seen like somehow whole inflatable guitars come out, and there's stuff like that. And when you get to the other side of that question, I don't know why people think it's a good idea to flick off the camera, to flash the camera.
I always flash the camera.
That doesn't surprise me.
I've seen photos that are just ruined for the people around them, and then you'll have to, find a way to make it right. And you never can, especially like if it's a kid's first ride and now he's got a middle finger in his face from the person in front of him. Like, you can't give them back their first ride.
Mm-mm.
Like you can get them a ride, but you can't make it their first one.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure people have been kicked out of the park. I've never had someone kicked out. I did have a group of people flash the camera. I think the girls just showed their bras or whatever, but then they're like, "We want to buy it." I'm like, I can't sell it to you. Like, it's not going to happen. So
this was also at Night of Joy.
Might have been. Another interesting thing, we turn the preview monitors off, but sometimes we don't turn the camera off. So what that means is when someone comes down, say on the Mummy, for example, the preview monitors will be off and there's nobody there working because it's an overnight event. So they can't see their photo and they can't buy it either. So, but for some reason, they'll still do these weird things that no one will see but me. And there was always these big conventions of like 15 or 16-year-old girls. But you just be like, why are they doing this?
Okie dokie.
Yeah, and I'll leave it at that.
Yes, everyone let your imaginations run wild. Well, I know, Craig Lucas, I'm going to bring him up, when they went over last year, I think it was his sister-in-law or someone was with him and they did Rip Ride Rocket. And she did that. Now I have to try and describe this in audio form. The sign of the devil. Is it the sign of the beast? Right?
Yeah.
But she did it not with the thumb tucked in, with the thumb out.
Right.
So like the sign for...
Yeah, let's not go there. Right? And she was told that her picture or the video was... They couldn't have it because you're not allowed to do that.
I'm an old person, so I don't understand. So you got... Right, so you can have your little finger and your index finger...
As long as your thumb's tucked.
Tucked in.
If you stick
So you
that
can have
out...
those two sticking up, but if you...
It means something else.
Stick your thumb out, that's something else. Right, well, I'm obviously very naive. I do not wish to have emails explaining this to me. I wish to remain naive.
But there you go.
Email us at podcast.
Do not email us your photos of this.
Is that like Rock and Roller Coaster where you can't do the
the
Steve
shocker,
Tyler?
that's Steve Tyler? Yeah.
All right. What's that one?
He does it in the pre-show.
Oh,
He actually does the shocker
yes,
motion.
he does. You're right.
Yeah,
That's what it's called, the
but if
shocker.
you
That's what it's
do
called, the
it-
shocker.
Yeah. Oh well, that's a different thing. That's
No, that's what it is, yeah.
okay.
Anyway, there you go.
Right.
Don't Google it, kids.
No. They're all going to do it now.
Yeah, right.
Parents, don't blame me.
Derek Bergen says, what changes would you like to see in Universal's Photo Connect service?
This is where I get to bring out my idea notebook. No, I had tons of ideas. No, the coolest and single most frustrating part about Photo Connect is the app.
Right.
The fact that there is an app is really cool. I don't believe there is a comparable Disney version that's just like your photos in an app version. But the share function is terrible.
Right.
So like you click it and it shares and it'll share, but it shares a link to your photo. So it makes you, if you want to post the photo, you have to then download the photo
And yeah.
and then share the downloaded photo.
Okay.
On iPhone, it's not so bad. On Android devices, it can be terrible because every app seems to download things to different places.
Yeah.
So like if there was a way for the app to just share the photo directly, and I know apps can do that because I use other apps to do very similar things.
Yeah, you can go, share it to pretty much any picture on the internet. You can share it to Instagram.
Exactly. So I mean, Universal and even Photo Connect is becoming more social, but it just seems like the app is not meeting up to that par. I'd love to see things like what Disney's doing with their Magic Bands once that kind of technology is fully implemented at Universal, where your on-ride photo is like automatically put on there. I'd love to see more editing options for yourself for star card holders, where you don't have to go and see someone to add things to your photos.
I agree. We missed out on certain things last year because we didn't go and...
Yeah, I mean, the photos like will automatically go if everything's working right. But like if it's a shot where something should be added, if you didn't go, you don't have that. So I'd like the option for you to change the borders on the photos, kind of make it more editable in each photo, especially in the app, so that I can add myself things that would be appropriate.
Yeah. Like Disney do with whatever the hell it's called now.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think theirs is all done on the browser.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff is available through the websites with ColorVision's products, but it's still clunky, just not intuitive. If you click the wrong thing, it asks you to purchase when you should already have the rights. It's just very confusing and could be a much better user experience. Yeah, I'd love more photographers. I know you got to pay them, but I'd love more photographers around the park.
I agree, actually. I think every character should have a photographer. I'm surprised they don't.
Yeah, and just a back, kind of a technical thing. While the system they use is really interesting to connect photos, I don't think it's accurate enough, and it allows too much for human error because they have to photograph the barcode that is on their card and then give it to you, and then any photos taken after that, and then a computer has to recognize those barcodes, and then if any ones that were too blurry to be recognizable or any other thing that might obscure the barcode have to be fixed, and some of them are not fixable. Like there's just no way, you can't see it at all. It's either too blurry or too flat. Like, it's just there's too much room for human error. So I'd like to see a system implemented
like Disney do, where they just
like
scan
Disney
it.
does, where there's a lot less chance for human error and losing your photos to millions and having a team member have to find those, or worse, you go, I don't want to deal with it, and you just lose them. So
cool.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Universal, Photo Connector, all the rest of them, get it done. Right, so the next question is from David Wilson, and I think he obviously thought you have a bit more sway and were in Universal more than you were, but he did ask
I do like this question.
what was the reasoning behind closing the Triceratops encounter, and is everything still there? And if not, are there any plans for that space?
Okay, so I did not go sneaking around Triceratops encounter to find the answer to this question. There are videos. There are videos. If you'd like to see them, search them out. There are videos of people who did, and at various points since it's closed, and in various stages of undoneness, as they kind of pulled back the skin, so to speak.
Okay.
So you can look at those on the internet if you'd like. As far as the reasoning, I believe the Triceratops were really sick. If you remember, I remember they were sick when we went in.
Yeah.
The Triceratops encounter. I think that might have been it. No,
makes sense.
Oh, it was just a massively mega expensive audio animatronic to keep working.
I think we should go with they were sick.
Yeah. No, I just think it's one of those things where it was very ambitious, but it just wasn't marketed well. I mean, if it drew people, it would still be there, right?
Which is a shame because the videos we watched of it looks awesome.
That we would have loved.
Oh yeah. I mean, it. I remember doing it as a kid. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do it more recently, where there'd be video and photos and all that stuff. But yeah, I remember being very cool and like really filling out the idea of you're in a working Jurassic Park, and I hope that Jurassic World does well, and that Universal goes, you know what, we can use this and kind of give Jurassic Park a 2015 makeover.
Well, I think they've already given them the lead in. When you watch the trailer, it's very theme parky anyway.
Goodness.
So
it's
yes,
fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's there for the taking.
I want those gyro balls.
Yeah,
where they're riding around. Those are cool.
Well, they've took the sign down. There's nothing stopping them changing the sign, at least.
Yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of rumors if you're into that kind of thing. There was the rumor of the Discovery Center dark ride, some kind of flat ride going in that area, which I would really love the dark ride for the Discovery Center. As cool as the Discovery Center is, it just kind of feels dated. It feels very early 90s. So I would love to see anything done with that area. And if whatever you can fit in Triceratops encounter, whether it's something true to the original attraction or something different.
We will see.
The second part to this question,
There's more than that. He's got about 5.
I know. I've noticed a definite improvement of the team members from when I first started going in 1994 to when I worked there for 6 months in 2003 to now. I've often received better service than Disney, and the team members look like they are enjoying their jobs even, much more than the cast members I've seen at the Magic Kingdom. Did anything change in the training or supervision?
I gotta say, Wizarding World of Harry Potter changed everything, and it changed the team member, attitudes at Universal immensely because people wanted to work there. I think it'd be a big change, and people were excited about the product they were offering. I mean, when you're 10 years ago in the what you'd call us the dark periods for Universal, you're not happy, and now you've got something that people want, so you kind of flaunt it, I guess.
I still find it weird how we got into theme parks, or we got into the Universal theme parks in the so-called dark era.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
It's the strangest thing, right?
It is. That's supposed to be like the worst time in their history for like ages, yet that was when we fell in love with the parks.
Yep.
So it's, for me actually, I found when we went in 2009, the parks were worse then than they were back in 2004, 2005. That transition just before the Wizarding World opened.
Yeah, and you've got people the company was changing hands.
They're definitely in a much better place now with Comcast and like NBC owning the whole thing lock, stock and barrel. You can see the money they're pouring in, how much better the parks are going to be over the coming years.
Mm-hmm.
So how is Universal able to start construction on projects and complete them in such a short time? Are there less backstage politics to contend with?
All right, so the way this
probably
question
answer
is,
that question.
Yes.
the way this question is written, I'm going to assume he's talking about Disney in comparison.
Yeah.
I don't have any knowledge other than being a fan and following both companies. There seems to be a lot of ideas at Disney, and if you listen to all these Imagineers talk about stuff that they didn't do, it'll blow your mind.
Which are like the coolest things.
Yeah. Look at all this cool stuff that I thought of and that we could have done, and I know we could have done it well. And it just doesn't happen. So
and we've got so much concept artwork to tease you all with.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're definitely thinking same line as me there. So I would say yes. And a lot of those people, comparatively at Universal, they're like, yeah, well, let's use that. Yeah, let's use that. Yeah, let's use that. And yeah, I would say it would apparently be less backstage politics.
I think from what I know, knowing a few Imagineers and stuff, it seems to be that the problem with Disney is it's got to go through, before it even gets to the person who's going to green light anything, it's got to go through so many different committees before it gets green lit, whereas at Universal, you've literally got Universal Creative and NBC. So it's like, right, this is our idea, they go to there, yeah, it's done, go.
Yeah, and the Disney execs in California, do they, care what happens in Walt Disney World? Like,
no,
I don't know. I'd say no.
I think that's the thing. That's where Universal sort of win, because there's such a small or smaller company that they can make those decisions and they can make them quick. And it seems like that all the laws in Orlando of working so many hours, Universal don't care. They'll just go, right, just crack on through and we'll pay the fines.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. Well, not really curious. I just have a statement. Wasn't a huge majority of like Islands of Adventure kind of quote unquote like Imagineering crew, like past Imagineers that left Disney to come work for Universal?
I had heard that.
Because I
What?
read like a lot of the ideas that were supposed to be like Beastly Kingdom and
Beastly
stuff like that
Kingdom,
got
yeah.
implemented into Lost Continent and things like that.
Yeah.
Dueling Dragons was originally supposed to be going into Disney World. That's where that idea came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on the rumor front. Has anyone else heard the rumor that because they're so strict on articles, on loose articles, that they're thinking of dueling again?
Really? Well, it's
I've
funny you
read
should
that.
mention that because I just got an email through from Singapore and they are very, very close to reopening Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you've been riding any of the roller coasters recently, they've been a lot more strict about
Taking anything on.
anything.
Yeah.
And
I hope so.
Yeah, well,
I agree. You know, they really should, especially if the lockers are free.
we'll be riding naked soon.
But that ride's not what it was. No, it doesn't
it's
do.
not.
It's not the
UUOP
ride it
after
was.
dark.
That'll be our next meet and greet.
No, no one wants
Buy the
to see
park
that.
UUOP, am I right?
Yeah. Right.
I got a tattoo. You want to see it?
Yeah. We've kind of answered the next one, so Tracy, do you want to take the last one?
Okie dokie. What was your go-to line for getting people to stop for photos?
All right. So I never liked being at the front when I was there because that is very much, at least by guidelines, you know, you're supposed to be super active, and most people aren't into stopping for photos. It's a lot of no's.
Really?
But I will say what works, at least in the Spider-Man queue, what I had a lot of experience, is just telling people what they're going to do. You know, and then if they have that question or they have that hesitance, you know, you can deal with that from there. But 8 times out of 10, if you tell someone, hey, stop for a second, we're going to take a group picture right here, instead of saying, hey, do you guys want to take a photo? They're going to say no.
Yeah, don't give them the option, just tell them. Because, I would do that. I'd just... Maybe that's a British thing. I would just do as I was
if you
told.
Yeah.
And then if you show them the people ahead of them are doing it, they just do it because the person ahead of them is doing it. And, you know, so if you really don't want to stop for 2 seconds to take a photo, just say you don't want to, and they'll let you right through. I mean, they might hold you up so the line doesn't, you don't get skipped or whatever, but, they're not going to, oh yeah, you got to take a photo.
Yeah.
Funny thing though, I did have one person go, I can't take the photo because I have epilepsy.
Right.
All right.
And I went, you're riding Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Because people want to be witty and people want to, tell you off in a certain way. And they don't really think about what they're saying. That person didn't have epilepsy. But if I wanted to make their day bad, I could be like, listen, this person admitted to me that I have epilepsy. It is a safety hazard for them to go on this ride knowingly that we know they have epilepsy. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that
just
person
say
there, just
no.
drag 'em
We'd
out.
rather hear no than
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did that.
smart
We've been through
comment.
the Zeus the High in the Sky Zeus trolley train ride photo
Well,
op about.
that line takes forever. So like you want something to do.
It was empty. It was
Oh, yeah.
empty, but we'd been
Oh,
through the
okay.
photo op about 4 times, and it got to like the 5th time. Like, do you want to take a picture? And we're like, no, I've been through it 4
Yeah.
times already.
Okay, yeah. But in most cases, in most of the day, I mean, that's another thing. The only time where you would technically could be held up for 2 seconds would be like at the beginning of the days where there's no line. And then especially on Seuss Trolley, like that line just doesn't move.
No, it's
because
true. I
it's
know.
so
Yeah.
long between
Yeah.
loads. If you take a photo, it's not.
No.
That's a good photo op, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
really cool with the
Yeah.
stars and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this show. Don't forget to join us back here next week. It will be our Christmas show. And anyone who's interested in outtakes will definitely want to hear next week's show. So for this week, for Tracy, Darren's not even here. What am I talking about? I'm just obviously setting my ways. Oh, Darren doesn't mean to be here. For Tracy, Darren, Hunter, and Gregory, this has been the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Goodbye.
Well, that wraps up another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Just search the word UUO Podcast. We'd love to hear from you, so if you've seen something hilarious in the parks, let us know for our Funny Schmidt segment. And if you've had a great experience with a team member, we want to hear about that too. So to get in touch with us, email us at podcast@uuopodcast.com or record us a message at speakpipe.com/UUOpodcast. Please subscribe to us on iTunes and rate and review the show. That would be amazing. Not an Apple user? No problem. You can find us on Stitcher, at uuopodcast.libsyn.com, as well as many other podcast apps. And don't forget to check out our sponsors, Fairy Godmother Travel, for all your Universal vacation needs. Head over to our partner site, micechat.com, for even more theme park news, and check out micepod.com. So until next time, be adventurous.
This has been a micepod.com presentation.
MiceChat.com